Massimo, and the organisers for Ambrosetti for inviting me to speak, and with this formidable trio of previous speakers. But I don't want to be aggressive, but I really have to take issue with what the Senator said about spending on advertising. It is simply not true that communications spending in this country has remained the same or risen. It has fallen by 30% since 2007. So just correct the facts. I'm quite happy to give the Senator the data that supports that. That figure includes all the Google and Twitter and Facebook revenues. It is true that the proportion of revenues that Google, Twitter and Facebook have has risen as a proportion, but the absolute levels are sharply down. And I'm going to try and explain why that is from a multinational or international context. It's not down for good reasons in my view, but that's because I'm CEO of the largest advertising and marketing services company in the world, and therefore I would say that, wouldn't I? I'm speaking from my own position, from my own camp. But it is simply not true, and it has nothing to do with tax. That is a below the line, it has nothing to do with the revenues. It is a 30% reduction in the investment by our clients, national and multinational, in this country. Fact. And that's from 2007. Next year, our projection is it will remain roughly the same as it is this year, the 30% reduction. Now, because we have a very powerful business in Italy, and because we have very good people in Italy, and we are the market leader, our share of the market has grown, and I'm delighted to tell you that our revenues in Italy this year are strongly up. I have to tell you that our profitability in Italy is down. Now, those two facts, communications spending down, our share up, and profitability down, is the background to what I'm going to talk about. Now, the first thing is, and I was asked to answer several questions, really, just, and most advertising agencies, as clients in the room will know, ignore the brief. I'm going to stick to the brief, and the brief said, what businessmen and business communities think about the Italian economy, a picture of the international perception of Italy. A firm that is crucial to return to growth, the invitation to look at growing markets in the Middle East and Asia, as they did in Germany. Views on the prospects for economic recovery in Italy, chances of Italy to attract foreign investment, role of communications, the Italians that the British and American newspapers are sticking it to the country or are being critical of the country, too much severity, my point of view on perception. So that's an awful lot to get through in now only 11 minutes, but let me try. And inside companies, procurement and finance has become more important than marketing and growth. If you look at the Q3 forecast results that have recently come out on both sides of the Atlantic, you will see most companies not making their top line, but making their bottom line where they made it by cutting costs. That is a short-term strategy. And the problem is that corporations lose their management, they change quite quickly. Average life of a CEO is 5 years, a CFO 3 years, and a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, 2 years in America. In that unstable ecosystem, it is only natural that people stick to the short term, and it's wrong. So, my time is up. Let me just say there are two things that have to happen. We have to change our attitude. I'm talking about people running companies. We're sitting on, as a group, $4.2 trillion of net cash with relatively unleveraged balance sheets. That's the, if you said all companies are one company, that's what they would look like. There is a premium not on growth, not on going after these things that we see the growth in. There is a premium on borrowing long at low rates, buying back your stock, increasing your dividends, and not taking risk. That has to change, and that, coming back to the point, is why communication spending in Italy is down, and why companies are not prepared to take the risk. And one final point. If you said to me, what is the biggest thing that the Italian government, either the national government, state governments, provincial governments can do, it is increasing. And I know there's, I get up this morning and I see Italy in recession. I try to get here, there's a strike and a march. And I know this is very sensitive stuff, but the thing that all our clients say, the one thing, is labor market flexibility. In America, we managed to change our structure in 3 months after labor. Our revenues fell by 8% in 2009. And we were fit for purpose in 3 months. In Western Europe, it's not just Italy, it's France, it's Spain, even the UK, I would argue, and Germany. 5 years, 6 years on, we are still restructuring our company, and we are still unable to be as effective and as efficient as our clients want us to be. So until we get, and I know it's painful, until that is addressed, I'm afraid there will be very little progress. Thank you very much.